Hi, this is Ed Bear. This is our second video in our series on surplus stores. In this video we're going to cover stoves, MREs, and knives. One thing that is really nice about going into a surplus store is you're not dealing with a chain. Sure, they have their places. REI and Big Five are great places, but you have someone there that is an entrepreneur, that is running their own business, tends to have a lot of passion and a lot of knowledge. I hope you'll enjoy this video.
Good. Okay, so Ed just asked about stoves, and there's just two. I think this is really silly. I think it's great if you really don't care if you heat anything. So propane, $25, $26 anywhere. Sport Authority here. Everybody's got. Oh, single burner propane. We can fire that up in a second. Propane by law must be contained in a steel container. So this propane stove burns very hot. The gas you can find everywhere. The negative is it's very heavy. So for backpacking, we wouldn't use propane unless you have a dumb 18-year-old male with you. But if you don't have a dumb 18-year-old male, then you'd want the butane. This stuff is great. This is a particularly good company. It's out of gas, but anyway, the idea is you would actually light it if it had gas. See if you may have enough gas to light. Nope. Anyway, you can just imagine a nice blue flame coming out of that. So butane is under lower pressure than propane. So what that means is it can be contained in a tin aluminum container. So that's about that.
Do either one have a problem below a certain temperature?
Well, that's so the question was, does temperature matter when you use these fuels? The old assumption was that propane burns hotter and is better at low temperature. The truth is, butane isn't so bad. And if it does give you problems, or if you need to pressurize it, all you got to do is sleep with it, put it in your pocket, and you can build pressure that way. The other thing is, a lot of this new butane has a little bit of propane in it. Let's see if this does. All of this stuff is the same. Oh, that's very important to realize. When you go to, well, we won't mention any names, but when you go to some large stores and they're selling you a stove on sale, and the stove is made in Japan is a very common one, or Taiwan, some of those fuels don't fit the stoves that you'll find in America. So it's very important when you go and you buy a deal that you know that you can get the propane or the butane. This is the standard butane that screws out, screws in. And then the question was, does it have any propane in it? And let's find out here. It explodes. You can catch on fire. I've done that. I'm still here. Yeah, this is butane and propane mix. And they put a little bit of propane in it to make it a little hotter.
Will that stove work both on the butane and the propane canister?
No.
Different connectors.
This is only butane canister. Well, it's a mix, but it's called butane. And this one is only propane. What we can do, if you want to, is we can hold this a moment. I can get a match and fire up. Should we fire up a propane stove?
Sure.
Ed asked about firing up a stove, and this is a 7/16 threaded propane cylinder that works everywhere, and you can buy it every hardware store, every sporting goods store. Safeway will carry it. The idea would be and it all fires up. So what I did just now is I lit the match first. And then I turned on the gas. And it's very, very safe. Blue flame. We don't want yellow. Let's turn it up. Still hot, very little yellow. So that tells us it's a hot flame. When you see a lot of yellow, it's not. This stove is $24, single burner. I have all this gear, and this is all I use, a single burner stove. My wife has to have coffee in the morning and tea at night, at minimum. So all we need is a one burner. And that's it.
I've asked about MREs because I like MREs, especially when you got to go somewhere quick. With very little notice, you can just grab a couple, shove them in your bag, and you're good to go. However, if I'm going on a camping trip or backpacking and I've had proper time to plan, it makes more sense to use regular food. Not only will you eat better, but you'll spend a lot less money.
So these are MREs, meals ready to eat. These are commercially made. They are good to have around, I guess. They're expensive, and when you use them, you have a lot of garbage left. So I think people could do better in terms of survival with a can of beans and a can opener, or you go to a good grocery outlet, is my favorite, a cheap grocery store, and I get food bars for 39 cents. This stuff is good in that it has a main course, and there's also a heater. Somebody stole the heater from here, it looks like. But there is a heater, and the heater is a chemical heater that heats the meal. The only negative about MREs is they're expensive. They're like 10 bucks a piece or 9 bucks a piece. So they're very costly, although they do have toilet paper, matches, the real MRE. Real MREs have a heater. Some of the fake ones you have to be careful now, because some MREs are sold without the chemical heater, and the heater is important, of course, to have warm food, but it's cheaper to ship it without the heater, because then it actually has to be a hazardous shipment, so it's a little more expensive. So when people sell it commercially, they want to sell the one without the heater. And when you buy commercial, you can also you have to be careful that you get all the calories, because there's always going to be a way to screw somebody. You can count on somebody, especially on the internet, who's going to screw you. So you have to be careful. And still within that, then I'll only use MREs once in a while on a river. Sometimes the night before a trip, I don't want to break out my pack and break out my food, so I'll have an MRE in the morning. Rivers are great because, of course, it's totally waterproof. And some people keep them in their car because, freeways sometimes don't move. So they're good. They're limited, and they can be used with other. Now we're at the knife counter, and with knives, we start with this classic French knife, the Opinel. It's inexpensive. Here's a $14 Opinel. It's made of very hard steel. It rusts immediately. Mine looks like hell, but it's quite sharp. This is $14. It's a very primitive, simple folder. In fact, we'd heard that this is one of the oldest still being manufactured items in the world. It was first manufactured during the French Indian Wars, so we've heard. Very simple, very hard steel, good price, and it will rust. $14. Oh, there's very little, it's all carbon hard steels and very little stainless, if any. Easy to resharpen. But easy to resharpen, though. Okay. Keeps an edge. And keeps an edge. Thank you. So that's Opinel. This is another one of our favorites from the Swedish Army, from their medical kits and their cooking kits. This is Mora. Also very inexpensive for what it is. 20 bucks, 13 bucks. Mora of Sweden. This is a more stainless steel knife. It has some stainless steel in it, and it holds an edge pretty well, and it's cheap. Well, it's inexpensive. 13 bucks, 20 bucks. And then from that, we have all of the fancier knives, and sometime we can talk about that, but that's probably for the young men to talk about. There's Kershaw, great knife, American-made knife. Columbia River, Spyderco, Benchmade. Benchmade is probably the most popular if you're 25 years old and don't lose knives. And then in the fixed blade, this is the famous K-bar. A little big for me, but people like it. This is the K-bar. There's also a Navy version called the Navy Diver's Knife. There's an Army version. There's also an Air Force survival knife. And this is all Army, Air Force, Marine. And nowadays there's a new knife, I believe. Is the Gerber issued? Yeah. So there's a new knife. Gerber LMF. Gerber LMF, which is also an issued knife, a fixed blade knife. So that's about that.
We hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, please click on the thumbs up button and subscribe to our channel.